All right, let's talk about Trey Lance. So I flew back this morning and I was watching. I don't watch SportsCenter that much, but I was watching this morning and the anchor was like, two young quarterbacks faced off. Trey Lance was just awful. And they had like a whole highlight of all of his misses. And they were just, he was so terrible. And then Justin Fields, on the other hand, was terrific. And they had all of his good throws. It's like, whoa. What are we talking about? Justin Fields had two big plays when the Niners like didn't cover the wide receiver.
Right.
Trey Lance made some really nice throws in this game. And he also made a mistake. They both had a pick. That is strange. Why is the whole world so hard on Trey Lance? And what did you think of his performance in this game?
Well, his accuracy wasn't there, right? I mean, that wasn't they lost the game. I mean, they didn't lose the game because of Trey Lance. They lost the game because there were too many penalties. There were too many missed tackles. Debo had a turnover in the red zone. McGlinchey gave up a key sack on a third down. Drake Jackson and Samson Ebukam, I thought both of those guys at different times lost contain on fields for big gainers. They lost their starting running back at halftime, and Jeff Wilson was not a reasonable facsimile. Womack dropped a pick six. Gibson dropped an easy pick. Greenlaw had two of the worst penalties that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Greenlaw and Hufanga had a horrendous communication breakdown on the St. Brown touchdown. The defense gave up two busted play touchdowns. Charvarius Ward, I thought, got a really bad call on a defensive hold on that 3rd and 9 when he was defending Pettis. That could have gone either way. Shanahan gave away an entire possession by punting on 4th and 1 in the third quarter, up 10-7 from his own 41. And then Al-Shaair had the real criminal mistake of the helmet-to-helmet on Fields that extended another drive. But Trey had, the one thing about football is we only see the errors of commission. We never see the errors of omission. We never see the great play that was there for them, but we didn't see it. People really focus on the throw that you made that you didn't connect on. So he overthrew Croft, could have been a touchdown, threw behind Juwan on a 3rd and 8. I missed a second quarter screen pass to Debo. I threw a little too low on 3rd and 9 in the second quarter. Missed Debo on a swing pass in the third. But overall, I would say, and then of course the fourth quarter pick where Eddie Jackson kind of hid behind the defender, read his eyes. Lance stared him down. So Lance held the ball too long. Well, tell me if you think this sounds like a young quarterback making his third start. He held the ball too long a couple instances. He stared down his receiver once or twice, and he was a little bit off target with his accuracy on a really wet, sloppy, ugly day at Soldier Field. All right. But there were several things that he did that were really good. And I think most importantly, when the thing went south at the end, I thought he played well as could be expected all the way through the deluge. And then when he hit the podium afterwards, I think he said all the right things. And it was pretty clear from the way he broke it all down, Grant, that he had a memory of all these plays, which shows me that he's totally mentally engaged. And a lot of young quarterbacks forget, like they get to the post-game presser, I don't know, it's all a big blur. It wasn't all a big blur to him. He knew exactly what he did and what mistakes he made. And to me, that shows a level of mental engagement that many young quarterbacks never get to. So that's a nuance. I get it. But that gave me a lot of encouragement that better days lie ahead.
So he did miss some throws. And there's some throws where you're like,
no doubt.
Yeah, but I want to say, like, the throw to McLeod, the throw to Ayuk, the throw to Jennings, those three throws were beautiful. And so, like, the ones
he connected on, you mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The ones
How about the one to Dwelly? How about the one to Dwelly in traffic? That was a laser.
That was nice. But what I'm saying is, like, downfield stuff, I think he's a good downfield thrower. I really do. And so I'm thinking, like, in terms of a shot chart, like you would do in the NBA, he's the opposite of Jimmy. Jimmy's like the kind of guy who doesn't shoot threes ever, but he can get to the hole and has a mid-range game. Trey right now doesn't really have a mid-range game, but he can get to the hole with his legs. He can hit the layups, the pop passes and stuff, and he can shoot threes. I'll take that guy. I want that guy. I want the threes. And if Kyle would just commit to calling them, like, Danny Gray needs to be active every game. What are you doing here?
I took that as a very arrogant move. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to be leading in the fourth quarter. I'll take an extra back or an extra O lineman because I know we're going to be leading. If he was fearful of a shootout where he was going to have to come from behind, Danny Gray would have been up.
If Kyle Shanahan wants Trey Lance to be his quarterback, he has to be committed to taking shots down the field. He spent the last 3-4 years getting yak guys. He doesn't need yak specialists. He's throwing the ball 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. He needs guys that get open and make the catch. And that's why I don't know about his fit with Debo right now. It could come together, but the fit with Ayuk is there. Ayuk gets open. Ayuk makes the catch. That's what Trey Lance needs. And that's what Danny Gray can do. Kyle just needs to reorient his thinking a little bit about what he's trying to accomplish. You have to commit to taking shots. Don't make Trey Lance go down the field 7 yards at a time. He can't do it. Can't do it.
And also, it's like, hey, last year when they took chances down the field, Kyle was not expecting to complete those passes. No. That's all about run the coverage off, and then the next one's coming underneath. Now you've got a quarterback that can throw the deep ball, and he can drop it in the bucket. And you have a receiver in Danny Gray who really plays like sub 4.3 and can get deep at will. So guess what? You know what that means? You're going to connect on these bombs. So get Danny Gray up and take some shots and expect to connect on them, because you will. They're going to connect on their bombs this year. Watch.
I mean, on 3rd and 6 from the Niners 40 with 13:28 left in the third quarter, Kyle calls a deep shot to Jawan Jennings. Lance hits it, never goes deep again. What? I don't understand that. And you're throwing deep to Jennings. What if that had been Danny Gray? Might have been a touchdown. That play.
Yeah. Jennings is like 4.8 speed.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I want to see more. Yeah. I want to see more chances to Ayuk. Ayuk only had 2 targets. Ross Dwelley and Brandon Ayuk should not finish any games this year with the same number of targets.